Good morning, fans of Rando, and welcome to another race in the Go Mode Podcast Mentor Tourney 2026. We're in week 4, and it's time for some casual boots. I am Talon116 in the booth, and with me today is Scatsman. Hello.
Hello there.
All right, little early morning Rando for your listening and viewing pleasure.
And a shout out to a map for doing the restream and Fernap for tracking for us. Who do we have here today, Taylor?
All right, we have Ninja Dave 84 taking on Josh the Canuck. Sawyer mentoring Ninja, and a Rabid Wombat mentoring Josh. We're going to do the fun escape sequence with some boots. So sit back and watch some sick execution, and then we'll see what the world has for us.
Yeah, one thing to keep in mind for the mentees is you'll notice that even though we just started and the sword's not visible, you can still dash through the bushes the same way you would when you finally talk to the uncle.
Yeah, the sprite's just not there, but they technically already have it. So good job just dashing through those bushes out of the way. And yep, start with some arrows. Cool.
So what are you hoping to see out of this seed? Like an early Samaria.
Okay, well, early Kane's fine. I don't know that it'll change much of their strategy here. The sword's just as good as the Kane in this scenario. I'm really looking for some strong dash lines, especially in this early spot. A lot of execution and timing can go into reducing the escape time based on good dash lines. There's some RNG involved with where the enemies decide to go and how they decide to interrupt you. But for the most part, this is just hard execution.
Yeah, and we can already see Josh pulling away just a little bit with those dash lines being a lot smoother than Ninja Dave's.
Yeah, both runners using that double spin technique, pushing that guard against that statue to try to keep him in place to pick up that key a little bit quicker. It's those little tidbits of execution and knowledge that can really just shave seconds off your escape time. And when you get to some of the more experienced and the top tier runners in the community, it's not uncommon to see 5-minute escape times in casual boots. And it just comes down to repetition and execution.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. And with all these recent races here in the Mentee tournament this year have been coming down to seconds. So any time gain you can get really gives you the edge when it comes down to those close finishes.
Yeah, plenty of bombs sitting here in this game. It's going to make the Kakariko trip a lot easier. And unless we see something like a bow pop up, I would guess that we're going to see both runners just go ahead and do Kakariko immediately after escape. So those bombs will really come in handy. So yeah, just sit back and enjoy it for the first about 10 minutes. I'm willing to bet they'll be pretty similar for both of our runners. Oh, don't die. Okay.
Yeah, both runners get really close there. And,
nice, vanilla.
Yeah, is this even randomized?
Yeah, we saw both runners kind of take different strategies there. Josh just rushing in and going for the 8 swipes. Ninja Dave throwing the pot first, which takes 4 of those swipes away and doing 4 swipes to finish. Both strategies are just as relevant as the other. The time difference is so negligible. Just do what's comfortable. Most importantly, don't die.
Yeah, I will say though, Ninja Dave's strat got him back in line with Josh here as far as who's in the lead out of escape here. Now, are you hoping for some head pull shenanigans or anything fun that we want to force upon our runners? Either bless them or curse them.
I don't really want a pet pull in this scenario, because then it feels like the pet pull really comes down to if the book is early, who decided to read it versus who didn't. And then at that point, it kind of feels like the race gets decided. Oh, I have the knowledge, the other runner doesn't. eh.
I mean, knowledge is power sometimes.
Right, and I agree. And I mean, I'm not saying that that's not a valid way to win or to race. I mean, if I've got a book and I'm over there, I'm checking. Why not? But what I'm really looking for is just a strong race that really just comes down to execution, putting the work that the runners have put into this, not just this mode, but learning Rando in general, in taking what they've learned and what the mentors have guided them with, and using it to the best of their abilities. You know, make it. I want to see a race.
Oh yeah, oh definitely. And I think this at this point in the mentor tournament, we start to see who's been practicing, who's got the better execution, and that really starts to determine the outcomes of the races here.
Yeah, by this time in the tournament, you know, we're in week 4. We're getting to some of the more established modes. So casual boots is, you know, that's kind of like baby's first mode. Everyone kind of has done it, or either, and even if you don't necessarily enjoy it, everyone's done casual boots. You're exactly right. Now we start to see who's put in the work, who's put in the time, who's asked the questions to get better at the things that they aren't necessarily good at, and we start to see that separation of the runners. You know, who's not necessarily has it, but who's developed it early. Not a ton coming out of the back of Escape there.
I do want to point out Ninja Dave taking the time to line up with the bottom of the room to get that key dash, whereas Josh just, you know, decided that they weren't lined up, so they didn't dash. That, you know, knowing when you can key dash and how to fix it when you're knocked off or not on the right spot is a good way to save yourself some time, especially in dungeons.
Yeah, it's good recognition. Also, just realizing I'm not in line. By the time it takes me to go down, get in line, restart my dash, now you've wasted more time than you would have saved. Just go. But we save Ether out of the sanctuary, and we're off into the world.
Well, both runners, like you said, going to be going in a pretty similar path here. We'll see if we get a scout on our lumberjack ledge.
Yeah, both runners kind of remembering that one of the hardest things in casual boots, get bonk rocks. It's so easy just to pass that up.
All right, looks like we have the red pendant on Eastern Palace with the map check there. Rest of our dungeons in the light world, just crystals. Oh, and here might be a case of knowledge versus not. Ninja Dave getting the notice that... Oh, no. Well, there's something to curse the seed with. A required Aga for Moon Pearl.
I don't know that that's a curse, though. Because now there's no question, right? Because, I mean, how many times have we done a seed where, okay, I've got a pearl and glove and flippers, so I could kind of do something with the dark world, but there's these 2 or 3 one-off checks that could be a hammer, but if it's not, it's a waste. See, now you don't have to worry about that. There's no waste of time involved. You know you have to do the climb. So as soon as you're able to, go.
Yeah, I mean, we already have the lamp, too, so we are either a cape or a sword away from doing that Aga climb. I guess you're right. It is good knowing where that Moon Pearl is, so you're not searching every corner of the world looking for it.
Yeah, and I don't want to say it's a curse, but it does feel like statistically it happens more in casual boots, right? For Aga to be required. You're starting with a sword, boots to get whatever's on the lumberjack, so you have those 2 items right away. Then, yeah, seeing that lamp vanilla, I mean, that was another play toward the potential Aga. But now both of our runners have that knowledge. They know they're gonna have to do it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Ninja Dave learning about the bush crabs having red rupees, and Josh, I'm not sure if he has that knowledge coming into Kakariko with a bit of a difference, but not mattering because we get 100 rupees and a bow out of Blind's Hut. Okay, well, I know where I'm going.
Yeah, so you're about the bush crabs too. It kind of felt like Josh accidentally threw the bush at the crab and killed it before it was able to deposit any knowledge, whereas Ninja didn't have that problem. But I mean, there's a very real chance where that's a huge difference maker later. You know, hey, Zora's something I need. I know bush crabs dump money.
All right. Well, I mean, we have a clearable Eastern Palace, but it is a pendant. How do you feel about that? You know, out of Kakariko going and just clearing it because you can clear it. It's a dungeon.
having the boots and the ability to water walk, and knowing push grabs are dumping 20s, I'm doing South Shore into Zora first. All I need is another sword or a cape, but I know where my pearl's at.
True. I mean, that's going to be density versus what, 3 items in Eastern Palace plus Saha.
Now, I mean, case in point, we have a lamp and we have a bow. It's all completely in logic. And there are times where the game puts that kind of stuff early, trying to edge you one way. So that would definitely be in the back of my mind. But I would do the density of South Shore first, especially if I know money's that easy. Oh, good.
Well, now we know why Sick Kid is sick. He's got some mushrooms under his bed. Nothing too exciting out of Kakariko other than the bow and a fetch quest here.
And both runners with boots choosing to check that item rather than just blind check it, and I'm a big fan of that. With boots and being able to move a little bit faster, it makes more sense just to do that rather than do a blind and try potentially save yourself some time.
All right, let's see if we hit the point of divergence. It looks like we do. Ninja Dave gonna go over towards Saha Eastern area, and Josh taking the South Shore route. Let's see where it pays off here.
It looks like Ninja Dave's gonna push the mushroom. One of those, like we were just saying before with the bow and the lamp. I gave it to me early. There's probably a reason. Let me go turn this in.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes routing and keeping your hands clean, following the logic, can be helpful. It can be helpful, especially if keeping yourself from getting lost if you forget that you got something out of logic.
I'm wondering if they just scum this. Especially already having the cane. Yeah, there it is. That was the other side of that coin. Could just be, hey,
Yeah.
I could right after a save and quit, do it now and you can scum.
Yeah, that was probably a good call from their mentor Sawyer. Seeing good use of the medallion to clear out Mini Moldorm Cave there.
Okay, we like a glove. But, so case in point here, Josh doesn't know that the bush crabs are giving 20s. So they're short on cash for Zora if they want to go all that way. Whereas Ninja Dave can come out of Mini Moldorm and be about 100 short. Well, I'll just go pull a bush crab and get the rest of my money.
Yeah, there is one just to the right of this screen here.
There you go.
There's our Aga access, yeah, out of Ice Rod Cave. Right, a whole bunch of rupees on the ledge, something we'll probably never grab. Ooh, trading the fairy to see what Bottle Bender has, and it's just green goo. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, we see Ninja Dave now going over here to grip this or farm these rupees. This is that heads-up knowledge that we were talking about. Now has enough for Zora. Josh, not having that money, I would guess, is going to use that water walk to go right back in the portal and grab Hobo and then save and quit.
Now the question is, do we get scammed today?
Just a heart piece. Now we're going to see if they are just going to rush the Pearl or if they're going to do Saha Eastern for some item density. Because even if they do Aga for the Pearl, they don't have any equipment to get across the river. They can't get across the bridge. All they can do is go into Pod and do Catfish. So there's still maybe... Okay, yeah. There could be the desire just to chase some density right now, but I'm not against this play either. You know you have to do it. Knock it out now. You can get the Pyramid Ledge item afterwards. You can go up and get Catfish, save and quit, then do Zora or anything else you want. Or not Zora, I'm sorry.
Yeah, they could have went left to, they have the gloves. They could have farmed the 50 rupee cave, grabbed the Gina, checked Desert Ledge. I feel like that would have been a decent thing to avoid the Aga climb, but...
No. There's no need to climb it because you know you have to do it. Your Pearl's on the ledge. Like, it's required. You're going to have to do it anyway. So, and taking the time to go and farm the 50 rupee cave 5 times just to get Zora, especially when you may not be able to get the ledge item anyway. Oh no.
And in a bad spot. Oh.
Yeah, I'm not sure they can get out of that. That's really unfortunate.
Yeah, gotta be careful where you bunk. The only thing I could see delaying, though, would be if you want to find the hammer before going into that the Aga world.
Right, yeah, that's what I was... You know, you could go into Saha and Easter and potentially get a hook shot, and then you can get across the river right after Aga, or get a hammer, or, you know... so there's some options that you can do to potentially make this faster. But I don't see a point of putting this off when you know you have to do it. Just go. I mean, after getting the Pearl and doing, like I said, maybe Catfish... You can easily save and quit and do Saha and Eastern afterwards if you want to. But you know you have to do this. Your Red Mail, 5 hearts, Master Sword, and a spare bottle. You're good. You got this. In this first ball and chain room, we saw Josh kind of use the NMG strat of pulling both guards down to the bottom and using one Master Sword spin to kill them both. Then Ninja decided to use the bow, put 4 shots in each of them. We kind of see that the NMG way, just a little bit faster.
Yep. And we were talking about time saves earlier, and that's usually something I direct my mentees towards, is some of these NMG strats that can save you a lot of time in situations like that.
Wow, kind of a lucky throw there, getting both guards with 1 boomerang. That could have got really out of hand for Josh. Nice stun prize, by the way, today.
Yeah, full magic on the stun prize. Not too shabby. And again, good knowledge, too.
Yeah, good knowledge there, too, knowing that there's a heart under that pot. Go ahead and just take a safety. You know, give yourself 1 more, and there's no sense of being brave if you don't have to be.
Especially since I believe they traded their fairy for the potion.
Yeah, that's a great point, too. Yeah, Ninja Dave, I believe, kept their fairy, so still has that in the back pocket in an emergency.
Yeah, I feel early game going into Dark World early, potentially. On this low amount of hearts, I would want that fairy rather than whatever might come out of, you know, the waterfall fairy.
Yeah, I would agree. If I had something like a Fire Rod, to where, you know, I know I was going to do the climb and a Fire Rod just kills everything, then maybe I want the magic, but there was no guarantee of even getting magic, so I kind of agree with you. I would have gone for the fairy, too, to avoid the worst.
Yeah, it's guaranteed versus potential. How many are there? What is it? 14, 15 guaranteed? Are the amount of blue balls that you can have here?
No. So assuming you don't miss any fireballs, the maximum amount you can get is 15. Because it'd be the first one after a lightning is always a fireball, and then after that it's a 50-50 shot. Aga just being a total troll right now. My guy. We all know how this ends, dude. Come on.
We're just gonna go to commercial.
Right? Right, there we go.
Interesting.
No,
I would have checked. I would have checked the pyramid.
I would have too.
Could have been a hammer. You could have chosen different ways to go into the dark world.
Also, yeah, because if it's the mitts, then as soon as you get the pearl, you can just go in the dark world over here if you want. That's very interesting. Because
Yeah.
again, now you're down to, once you have the pearl, you can either do the ledge and catfish and then potentially pod, or you can do Saha Eastern. But if that was the case, just do Saha Eastern beforehand.
You know, here's a guy who takes a bold move. He wants to save a couple seconds. He took the save and quit.
I wonder if that's just an instance where a runner is super, like, hyper focused on, I can do this. Or I did this to go do this, and so that's just what you do, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
wait, I could have done this
Yeah.
too. Okay, see, it was nothing. It was fine. He knew.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah, both runners have not checked Agina yet. He's probably got their hammer or their mitts.
No, Akina's got nothing.
Or a book, you know.
Akina's a tryhard who wishes he could. Oh, there, Josh gets the knowledge of, oh, I could have had this money all this life.
Surprise.
Okay, so now we see Ninja Dave going for the Saha, potentially Eastern play. Again, I find that interesting. If you were going to do this anyway, just do it before you get the Pearl. You know, and let's just take the hammer and the mitts or whatever out of it. What if there's another heart over here? What if there's a tempered sword? There you go. How much easier?
Tempered sword.
How much easier would that climb have been with a tempered sword? And both runners crushed the climb. Neither of them looked like they ever had a doubt that they were going to just absolutely smash it. So I'm not saying they needed it, but you know, I don't need pizza.
It makes it faster.
But I want pizza. You know what I mean?
All right. What are we gonna spy on Spectacle Rock Cave? Absolutely nothing. You know what both runners have done now? They've both, or actually neither of them, gone to Eastern Palace. I thought both checked Saha, but maybe not.
No.
That's
No,
right.
they
They
have
wanted to turn in their mushroom.
Yeah, Dave is turning the mushroom. Here, we're probably looking at Josh doing the same.
Yeah, but now didn't they already saves come?
Ninja did. Josh didn't. That's why Ninja's timer is like half of what Josh's is. PH, fight me.
Listen, you can never
you
go
can-
wrong with
You can pick the
pizza.
mode, buddy. We'll have a good old time.
Yeah, we're also seeing a safe scum on Josh's side there.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
So what's left here? We got Eastern Palace, we have Agina, and we have Zora, which unfortunately neither runner has checked.
Well, I mean, we have Catfish. So there's that fun thing. We can go into Pod now. I mean, Pod's not a bad shot either, having a bow. You can do everything but beat it. Sans Hammer. Ninja Dave, seeing this 300 is gonna go for it. They maybe thinking their run to Zora got interrupted, and this is just more safety for that.
Could be, yeah, could be. You need what, 860 rupees at the bare minimum, something like that. 860, 870, somewhere around that.
For the entire game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something like that. 580, 110, 590, 620, 630. Yeah, something like that.
I was told there'd be no math involved. I just know that number. It's somewhere around there. That's what I keep my rando manager around for.
Make him earn that 10% commission, right? So, what do you feel about this play? Okay, so this was available before Aga. Nope, it was the right play. Never mind. I'm just gonna stop what I was saying right now.
I probably would have did this before Aga. If it were me, I would have saw Bow, and I would have been like, all right, it's a clearable dungeon. Let's go look.
I think I would have done it before Aga too, because there's not much I could have done post Aga with just the Pearl. So I would have done this in the hopes of, like we were talking about, hookshot, hammer, to make it more viable. It being a pendant, I think, is what pushed both runners off, and I don't disagree with that. It didn't work out because where the flute was and potentially everything else, but I don't fault either runner. I think both ideas were sound.
Yeah, when you know where the Moon Pearl is, you go snag it.
Yeah, I like that flute. It's a good find for both runners. They're probably going to want that. So as I was going to say before, I think I wonder if there was an idea of Pod over Eastern, because we chased the Dark World, we have the access now. We could have done this before and didn't, so now we have to leave it. Kind of a thing. I've made the choice. I could have done it before. I didn't, so now I feel like I have to stand by that choice. But I don't know.
No, I would do Eastern over Pod here. One, we don't have the bow. Two, we don't have the hammer. This is clearable versus, potentially clearable. Worst case scenario, coming into here, we didn't know the flute was here, but you find your hammer, you go directly down to Pod, you find, something else that takes you in another direction.
Right, for sure.
I think this was their next best play.
Yeah, I would just be playing off the idea. I had a chance to do this and I chose not to, so I have to keep living by that choice. I would be very, very wrong in this scenario, but that's just where that would be my justification. I chose this, and so I have to keep choosing this. Not always a good strategy, and yet.
Listen, just make all the wrong choices, and eventually, it turns out to be the right one. That's how I route.
That's my rando strategy. Summed up, face tank and make the wrong choices.
But I think the lesson to take away here, mentees, is that when you make your decision, you stick with it.
Easter's not green pendant, right? It's red, you said?
Red. I believe it's the red pendant. I don't believe anybody checked knowledge on green pendant.
Oh yeah, and non-map or key sanity modes. Don't talk to Saha. That's just a waste of time. You'll figure it out on your own. If this was a green pendant, I would say the reason why I asked is because if this was green pendant, it would justify that choice even more so to definitely come in here and do it because of the extra item.
Yeah, for the turn right away. It just makes sense if it was vanilla.
Josh, very smooth going through the back of Eastern here. You've done very good getting through these rooms very efficiently.
Going for the safe strat. Definitely don't discourage the use of that strat at all. I know the quick kill is always fun to do, but sometimes the safe strat is the faster one.
Yeah, the safest strat and the fastest strat is not to die. So whatever gets you across the finish line alive is faster than the alternative. But yeah, I think they were trying to set something up and then missed an arrow, and it kind of threw everything off, which is kind of the Armos way, right? When you go for that quick kill and then one happens to nudge you and throw everything off, and they just like panic. Like, oh no. Taking a quick trip to Kakariko to activate Yonder. Nope.
Really? I would activate that flute.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything for them right now. There's nothing over in that world they can do. They still would have had to come back here for the portal. So I don't, again, don't disagree with this, but my brain's just like, I don't do it now. I'm straight forgetting to do this. It'll be sometime later when I start hammering that flute button and realize, oh yeah, I never activated it. So that's the reason why I would do it now, because I'm silly and forgetful.
You guys had a flute?
Right?
That's usually what I would be thinking.
Doesn't come pre-activated? What is this?
I guess we're going pod. Did we even get a map check for the Dark World?
Nah, not yet.
Just go do dungeons. Don't worry about anything else. We're fine.
So I think there's going to be a hook shot in here.
Yeah, I agree with Chad here. Having the active flute would be nice if you find Mirror on the way.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's a great shout. I'm guessing there will be a hook shot in here to lead to the mountain, and Bits will be on the mountain.
Especially since this is our Dark World access. You had to go back to there anyways. I would have just activated the flute and then dealt with your next possible clear.
Yeah, both runners probably just thinking, hey, if I find a hammer or mitts and I go over there for getting that part of the Dark World, I'll just activate it then, which is not... Oh, there we go.
All right.
Fire blue pendant, nice green pendant, Ice Palace.
And it looked like TR and was that Thieves Town where our red crystals?
Yeah, I believe so. So we will need everything this seed. We're doing all the fun ones.
And as we all know, fun is enforced here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I mean
not,
optional.
No, if you're not having fun, go do something else. It's not this of all things, rando is not worth getting frustrated about. Have fun, make friends, do silly things. I mean, yeah, try your best. Everyone loves to win. It's great, but yeah, we're in it for the fun, kids.
Wait, you mean the mentees aren't hovering over to get to the other side?
Listen, this old guy can't hover over to the other side, so hold on.
My hands prevent me from hovering, and probably my wallet and my controllers as well.
And my brain and my skill level prevent me from hovering. Nice silvers. The beatings will continue until morale improves. Absolutely.
Hey, you guys got beatings? Oh, man, I don't get anything. Just cursed seeds for me.
I like that Josh took the time to check the structural integrity of that hallway before continuing on. Thank you.
So, they already have red mail, tempered, silver arrows. I mean, where's the challenge? Heck in my day.
Alright, just a bunch of keys in the front for the most part in those silvers, so they're gonna have to death warp back to the front of the dungeon now. All right, good game knowledge here by Josh, deciding, yep, half hearts from those red berries, not worth it. I'll just go down and get stabbed by spikes.
Yeah, it's been talked about quite a bit, is knowing your damage and how to take advantage of it sometimes.
All right, we'll see if Ninja Dave remembers they have a fairy.
Oh, yes. I'm surprised that's not named after me. Every time. Oh, nope, we are not going to remember, so get ready for a fairy revive.
Who amongst us has not done such things? Has not gone.
It's every time.
Dang it.
I should just get rid of my fairies right away, but then I'll need it.
Yeah, Josh's secret strat to get rid of the fairy earlier, now paying off. We just didn't see at the time. We didn't have the vision. Burnap, truly the god amongst us all.
Oh boy, well, what's in the back of Pod? Because we've seen almost nothing but dungeon items here in silvers, so hopefully something exciting, like a hook shot or something like a mirror.
Hook shot in the Dark Knights.
Anything, maybe a vanilla hammer.
Vanilla hammer would be nice.
Nah, let's give him a hook shot and make him go the long way around. And then flippers will not be on the way to Swamp Palace.
Another thing, if there's nothing in Pod, the question then becomes, what do you do first? Because we have, damn it, never mind.
Well, there's our mids. So
Boring.
immediately answer your question.
I'm gonna ask it anyway. If you didn't find anything here, what's the first terrible one-off you would do? Because there's Zora, Catfish, and Akina.
I feel like
All three of those things we probably will never see now.
being that you could just save and quit out of Pod, and we haven't seen it yet, go up and check Catfish. Get it out of the way. If it's a hook shot or a mirror, you can continue on. If not, it's done. You never have to think about it again.
So both runners going to be proven right to not go activate their flute right away and save a trip to Kakariko, because now they can just do it now. Minty's
Nah,
better than Tom's, confirmed.
It's as many visits as possible, right? You want to take in all the sites, visit the dungeon multiple times. Now our runners are going to have to for Pod, because we know it's a crystal.
Yeah, flute makes that trip trivial, though. It's no big deal. And they've gotten everything out. It'll just be go to the boss at that point. Okay, I don't mind this play, using that flute,
Yeah.
try to get some of these one-off or out of the mosaic. You can check your medallion for Meyer if you want. Ninja Dave really having the heads-up play here to check King's Tomb. Grabbing that 6th heart. Yay. Oh, it is Ether.
Well, we have a clearable pendant again.
I mean, you're here.
Come on, ped pull, right?
Well, that's kind of what I was thinking. No, deciding not to. There's plenty you can do now with those mitts. I don't disagree with that. That would be a play to decide I'm just gonna go into Pendant Mire.
Yeah, not with clearable crystals. I would be chasing those first, and that's what we're gonna see.
Well, I mean, your only clearable crystal is what? Thievestown? That's it.
Thievestown.
So now, again, going into Mire in this scenario would be an absolute play. I am deciding to, I'm going to make this what I would consider a silly play, because you're right. You have Thievestown, the front of Skullwoods. You've got Olive Vu. You've got Hype Cave just sitting there waiting. There's lots and lots of density you can chase ahead of that.
Here's the only thing I may somehow convince myself to go into Mire first here is we don't have the hammer. We don't have the fire rod. That's a full clearable dungeon. We have access. It could be where it's telling us to go. Might be the only reason I dip in there.
Yeah, and you can. I think we can keep going down that road a little bit longer too, as we see a heart container and some more money in Vu. Yeah, you had immediate progression or immediate logical progression in Eastern to beat it, and you found your flute, right? You didn't need to beat it, but your flute was still there. That flute in your mitts and pod takes you right to. God, never mind.
If we don't talk about it, is it gonna show up? I mean. All right, so we have our hammer now. Let's go do Thieves Town. When do you go back and do pod at this point?
Maybe the tracker is better because I was not counting items. If there's no items in pod, it's the last thing I go do.
I believe we saw both dungeon items, so I think last item is on pod.
Is on
Is on Helma.
So immediately after Thieves Town, I'm not even going into Skullwoods at this point. I'm following all the way to Hype Cave. And then if there's nothing there, then I think I go and just knock it out, and then you never have to worry about that side of the world again. With the hammer and the glove and the flute, getting back there is super simple. If something happened to pop up like a hook shot or a mirror, then I would put it off even longer, because now I have the mountain to go do.
Yeah, well, and with what items we have on both runner sides, any kind of mountain access is going to be check density.
Yeah, for sure. But now you kind of have like your foundation and your base point of, okay, I need one item to knock a dungeon out. Give me a fire rod and ice is gone. You may not, it's pendant ice, but you know what I mean. But a fire rod, okay, Skullwoods is out. You still need some stuff for swamp, unfortunately. You need a couple rods for TR.
I mean, if we're looking at Baby Seed here, we're gonna find the fire rod, and if we're looking at Cursed, then Ice Rod's gonna be on the pendant, on a ped pole. But I don't know. Let's see what happens because it keeps just giving us all the fun stuff. So. Josh making their way into the attic, and let's see if Ninja Dave gets bullied going through the harmless hallway here. Not one.
Sorry. I think with the exception of, never mind, let's just take a moment to respect the greatest item in the game. Hello, Half Magic.
Yes, we take that any day of the week, and I would never ever say no to Half Magic. Just like the required shields, I mean, it's always nice to find those.
So I think as far as checks go, we're pretty much at parity. Josh checked the Mire area, and that's kind of the only difference that I can think of. So both runners are really neck and neck, just keeping it close this entire race.
Yeah, I mean, even with what divergence we've had, we keep coming back to the same path here, so trying to see where we can find our next progression. I feel like if it's Fire Rod, that takes us to dungeons. If it's, anything else, like you said, the mirror or the hookshot, then I think both runners are going to be going to the mountain. There's no item that they could find that would send them in different directions.
Yeah, for sure. Right now, definitely let the next item you get choose where you're going. If you don't have anything, then you just chase your density, right? You're going to go down. You're going to do, potentially take the Smith with you, but you're going to do the big game. You're going to do Stumpy. You're going to go to Hype Cave, your big spots. You go turn the Smith in if you happen to grab him. Let the next item kind of dictate where you want to go. Blind, looking like it kind of cheated Josh there and got him off script right away. So we'll see how they adapt.
Yeah, I think he had a spin attack that didn't get poked, and that's when you kind of see his head go crazy there. Got to be careful trying to get those first couple of hits in there. Josh setting up to use Samaria to try and help him finish, but not gonna do it.
Yeah, even on Red Mail, those fireballs are doing one heart of damage. Ninja Dave gets off the script just a little bit too, but is able to finish him off. For the mirror.
Ooh, and that's nice going into Smith Chain, like you were saying.
Yeah, that's great for Smith Chain.
That makes things a lot easier.
Yeah, so if I'm the runner at this point, okay, I have a very clear path now. I'm finishing the south. You can go up and check Bumper Cave if you want to. You can go get Graveyard Ledge if you want to. I don't mind leaving those for a minute to choose to push the south route, but nope, they decided.
Yeah, we're going for clearables.
Oh, we're just going to go finish off pod right away. Okay, I'm not against this. You got to get your crystals. That's kind of the name of the game here. I feel like efficiency-wise, it kind of leaves some stuff you're gonna have to go back and do. Hype Cave, Smith Chain, Dig Game, Stumpy, K45. But if something's here that gives you even more to do, then this is the play.
It's possible we might see him go through the south route first. If last item in pod doesn't lead him anywhere.
Like from Josh being able to clean that fight up. If they just would have left and come back later to do that, because that fight, the refight on blind, kind of sucks. That mirror could have been left for a hot minute. So great job for them to come back and mop it up in one try.
Yeah. Good use of Samaria to make the beginning of the fight a little easier for them. All right.
Echoing something that was said in chat. Echoing something that was said in chat. I don't disagree with going to go finish up pod here. It's never going to get easier, right? The equipment you have is more than enough to handle the rest of this dungeon. And if this is an item you need, it's great. So I think what I'm thinking will happen with Ninja Dave too is, well, they can't mirror and just fly back because they had to get into Dark World here. But it'd be interesting to see where they want to go next. Do they go back, decide to do the Smith Chain in the south, or if they're like, nope, I'm good, just chase something else for now.
Nothing on Dig Game, and they were made to work for it. I don't know. I kind of like the Smith Chain play here, being that pod is so easy to get back to for us with the flute and everything that we can kind of do it anytime.
Yeah, and you're routing to Hype Cave and turn the Smiths in puts you right in front of the bomb shop. You can easily just hammer the bridge and run right back over, or you can mirror and then fly over to the pod area and finish it off if you don't find anything else.
Yeah, I'd almost want to see flippers as part of the Smith Chain.
Not without a hook shot, I don't.
Oh, you don't want to do left side swamp? Come on.
Turns out I don't.
It's just a little water. It's just a little dip your toes in,
I do agree that finishing off the pod, knowing that there's an item there, should be a priority. Like, it would be pretty high on my list of things to do, but I feel like you could route into it.
I feel like Mountain probably would have been before pod in my book. We were talking about Mountain just a little bit ago, and that mirror is our Mountain access to a clearable crystal.
Nice flippers.
Speaking of flippers on Smith Chain, Are you sure you're not dipping with what the seed keeps doing? You sure you're not dipping it at this point? I feel like after Hype Cave and everything, you go hit those first just in case, but I don't know. It's telling us something here.
No way. No way. Not okay. So continue with what we were saying a little bit ago. You have almost the entirety of the mountain, with the exception of 3 chests at Hookshot Cave, and you can't clear TR. Odds are you'll get locked out of it very quickly. Actually, no, I'm not going into swamp here. No way.
You're guaranteed a sword in there, so it might be.
Yeah, you got tempered. It's fine.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be another check that Ninja Dave can do, that Josh will not be able to do because they, well, didn't do on their visit, is checkerboard. They have the mirror coming into my area.
Yeah, not just checkerboard, but they can beat desert.
True. Yes, this is also desert access. Oh, come on. You don't want your pile of sticks there after moving all those blocks out of the way?
Josh kind of showed us a cool trick that you can do with the purple chest. As long as you stay in the dark world, even if you run away from the purple chest, the flag is still set that you have the purple chest follower. So when you mirror, as long as you can get to the locksmith, Gary, whatever you want to call him, before your iframes end, the game doesn't know that you don't have the purple chest, and you can just turn it in anyway, even if it's not directly on your person. Yeah, like we said, Dave decided to go into desert here, being able to have that mirror and flute. Well, Josh continues their overworld routing. Hasn't really gotten anything from it outside of those flippers.
Yeah, I feel like maybe the flippers are going to be a bait here if they do go into left side swamp. I still feel like I would have fell for that trap too, but that's, you know, a whole nother story.
Odds are that those are checks that Dave is going to eventually do, unless they absolutely route to their go mode. So it's time that more than likely Dave is also going to give, but as of right now, it's time that's just been sacrificed by Josh. Assuming that Dave gets to their flippers at some point. Because it is kind of a if location.
Yeah, I think we're seeing Dave going more the always be clearing dungeon route, and Josh is going a little more efficiency on the way, following that logic train.
Yeah, Ninja Dave is definitely of the mindset, it seems, to I can beat a crystal, I'm going to go beat a crystal, nothing else matters. I'll clean up afterwards. Nice fire out sitting on the desert ledge. That feels pretty big.
Yeah, that's 2 more clearable crystals there.
Okay, I know it clears Skullwoods. What's the other one?
Ice Palace. Oh, sorry, Ice Palace is Green Pendant.
Yep. So yeah, I wonder if we're going to see Dave at this point. Now they'll go into Skull Woods, and since they're on that side of the world, they'll go ahead and do the Smith Chain Hype Cave play at that point, which efficiency-wise is going to be great for them.
Yeah, they also have Graveyard Ledge. Who did Kingston? That was Ninja Dave, correct?
Yep, Ninja Dave did that immediately before activating the flute, so that's a good shout too. Neither runner has even scouted Bumper Ledge or done Graveyard, but having this fire out and forcing their way back up to the north, Ninja Dave will have a great route to do that if they want to.
Yeah, and I, you know, barring any item that gives us more progression, they could even take that in flute up to the mountain after checking Graveyard Ledge with that route.
Well, and if the access into TR is Ether, there's a ton in TR they can do.
Yeah, barring the boss, you know, that ice rod can kind of be anywhere.
So if I'm one of these runners, or maybe even it's just the mentor, I'm thinking I would love to see that book right about now. Because we can do all the pendants. And if something like you were saying before, Ice Rod or Hookshot is just sitting on the pedestal, I'd really like to know.
Yeah, it certainly is lined up to do that, but I don't know. You hope it doesn't. You hope it doesn't.
I'm still not to the point where I'm chasing pendants, but it's in the back of my mind now.
Yeah, I think you stick to your clearable crystals. I would rather dip like TR if we have access before chasing the pendants.
For sure, I absolutely agree with that. Both runners clearing out light world dungeons for crystals very efficiently. Those bosses really didn't have a chance. For both runners, I would say there has been some really strong combat execution. There was both of them kind of hiccuped the quick kills with Armos, but not to the point of a massive time loss. They were both able to recover very well. So again, just speaking more to that execution and game knowledge that these runners are showing off.
Well, it looks like Ninja Dave gonna chase that fire rod. Now, probably gonna see him go directly to the back, and hopefully we get something out of that direction. Not really much on the mountain so far.
Yeah, so far it kind of feels like Ninja Dave's routing choice is to push crystals, and then, you know, push into desert and then find the fire rod, and now we're in Skullwoods are really paying out as Josh is doing a ton of overworld checks that really haven't netted anything. The flippers being the one that they've gotten, but it's not in a spot that's super broken. Josh is super healthy though.
Yeah, no shortage of health or supplies here in this seed. Ooh, yet another medallion out of Skullwoods. And that's both items, so time to go Swatamoth.
It is Quake for TR, so it's even more. I mean, if Ninja Dave is going to keep pushing the idea that they've had of just go crystals, just go crystals, just go crystals, it wouldn't surprise me at all to see them maybe even just mirror from beating Moth and go right to the mountain for Hera, and then they'll be able to get into TR as well.
Yeah, it's not entirely difficult to get back to this area of Dark World, especially with the flute in the midst.
Yeah, Bombos just hanging out in Super Money Cave. Not going to see a ton of action unless we get forced into Ice Palace, potentially. But, yeah, all coins collected between our runners now. Yeah, Buzz Blob sitting there being defensive tackle, blocking that line, pushing Josh back down to the crevice.
Nothing in the first chest of Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, Mountain becoming a real time sink, unfortunately.
Yeah, other than knowledge, we really didn't get anything other than a crystal clear. All right, well, we have our entire chairs, but Ninja Dave keeping us on the edge of our seats with that close fight for Moth, but taking him down. Well, Ninja Dave's been on the God route so far, so let's see where they choose to go. Well, while everybody is stocking up for their journey and we've hit roughly an hour in, don't forget to give our runners, their mentors, ourselves on the comm booth, Fernap Tracking, and Mr. Angry Pants, our restreamer, a follow. And thank you so much for everybody for taking their time and volunteering. All right, but I have to assume that grabbing that potion was preparation for a TR dip here on Dave's side.
Yeah, it could be a TR, or this maybe even thinking Spike Cave, because there's with no invincibility items, just making it a little bit easier.
Oh,
But
true, yeah.
as long as the items just keep presenting in these dungeons, Dave is just going to keep powering through these. This will be crystal number 5 for them. Doesn't have the flippers yet, which could be a time sink if it gets to the point where like the ice rod shows up on the route. But I mean, right now you can't really argue with Dave's results.
Yeah, with how they're full clearing mountain, though, I feel like the flippers are not going to be as big of a burden to find, given what we have clearable and what's left.
Like I said,
I feel like
really
Ninja Dave's probably going to get funneled in there.
It's probably going to come down to what happens in TR, right? Because once they're done with the mountain, I have to assume they're going to go into TR, keep pushing it, right? If the ice rod's just in there, they just keep going with this route. But once that ends, it's going to be what they want to do. Do you do the overworld stuff that you've missed, or do you push your pendant dungeons? Because if dungeons have had the answer, then you can do all your pendants now. And then if it's not in there, and Josh doesn't do pendants, like that's kind of where it's going to have to be, I think.
Yeah, we might be looking at a ice rod versus a flipper hunt here. Well, that being the case, let's look at what we need for go mode. We know that Quake is in Skullwoods. Josh is probably going to find that when they go dip it. We still have the ice rod outstanding. We still have a hookshot outstanding, and that's really all that's left. We know where the flippers are. Ninja Dave needs to go do their blacksmith chain to get that, but only really two items between our two runners remain for go mode. Oh, and welcome in, Raiders, to Go Mode Podcast Mentor Tournament. Thank you so much for bringing in your friend, Centipede. We were just talking about both runners kind of cleaning up each other's checks. Dave having gone with a clearing crystals, whereas Josh being more efficient and doing some overworld between their dungeons. All right. Well, Josh, speaking of, is going to be going over to do their Skullwoods dip. And curious to see if they're going to check the rest of stuff, the things like Bumper Cave and Graveyard Ledge while they're here, which we saw Ninja Dave skip out on.
Kind of with how they've been routing up until now, being efficient to check as much as possible, I would guess that they will. The only thing they're going to get out of Skullwoods is the Quake, which would just lead them back to TR, which they've already gone up the mountain once. I think that's a pretty hard call to say, hey, there's an incomplete TR I could go do now. Let me just drop everything I'm doing and go do that. I think they're going to get forced into being efficient with their clears like they have been.
Yeah, especially going up to TR without that ice rod, knowing that it can be anywhere. I'd stick with the efficiency since it's kind of working out in their favor, as far as they can tell. To answer chat, I believe it came down to something that we talked about earlier, where it's either your gear's not going to get much better than you have on Ninja Dave's side. He just went and cleared it. Whereas, you know, with the flute and all of our items, we can easily get back to it. Both runners have cleared out all items except for the boss, so. And yes, I have to agree with Map. Clearly, we just have to hover Hookshot Cave, and all of our items, including the Hookshot, will be in there. Because we don't believe in logic here, right?
It's merely a suggestion. Nice fight by Josh there to finish off the Moth. Gonna pick up their next crystal.
Well, let's see. Are we dipping TR? I feel like you gotta.
I think you have to.
I think in Dave's position, you gotta. The Bari goalkeeper is doing a great job here.
Yeah, I can see Josh finishing off Skullwoods here and then go and get their Helma. Or do the North Dark World stuff and take that to go into Helma. Grab that crystal too.
Yeah, it makes sense in their case. And also, I don't know if did they do Catfish or Zora yet?
No one has done Catfish.
They may be taking this over and mirroring out of Catfish.
Yeah, no one has done Catfish or Zora. Ninja Dave went up to do Zora and then unfortunately bonked into the water and got stuck. We know there's nothing on the ledge, but as far as Zora and or Catfish, the Scam Brothers are unknown entities right now. Yeah, Ninja Dave doing the play that makes the most sense based on how they've routed. I have the stuff to get in here. I can do all of it but the boss. I'm gonna.
Yeah, I can't disagree with it. This just seems like a really good play for them.
Look like
You're
Josh
here, do it. Instead of doubling back later, you'd potentially double back now.
It looked like Josh had a moment of thinking of whether they wanted just to save and quit and go do something else, but decided against it and doing this North Dark World checks. This is good for us because we haven't seen these, but we'll see if they're of any value. Berna just sitting on the bumper ledge. Probably not going to see any other grab that.
Yeah, being that we have to go find the cape to get Berna, I don't see it being picked up this seed. Well, Graveyard Ledge is a bust. And since Josh is saving the portal, I have to believe that he's going to take it over to Catfish and do the Zora checks that eluded them earlier. I don't know. I feel like the scams hurt worse later in the seed than they do in the beginning. Well, here is a question. Do you check Lava Chest in this case?
Yeah, why wouldn't you? You're looking for Ice Rod at minimum in here. You have to check it.
I don't know. I've been playing too much Key Sanity lately, and that chest has been so tricky.
Catfish.
For me. Catfish had answer. Yes.
That feels real bad.
Yeah.
Dave is. When do you go there now?
Yeah, that's a tough thing to say because Dave has already done Pyramid. That's going to be a last location, very likely for him.
Yeah, the only time to really do that for Dave, because Dave, once they get the flippers, is to complete the full South Dark World loop, finish at Hype Cave, and then run up there from Hype Cave. If not then win.
Yeah, that's an ouchies for Dave. That's also a clearable Swamp Palace for Josh, and we already have the other red crystal. I'm thinking we're gonna see if Swamp Palace doesn't give us our answer, we're going up to Pyramid Fairy looking for that Ice Rod.
I like the choice here by Josh to go ahead and finish off Pod now, knowing there's an item left, because if this is your Ice Rod, you know it's a go-modable swamp. So I like doing this first.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Good catch. Ice Rod cannot be in Pyramid Fairy because TR is the other red crystal. So, yes, it can't be in there. So, very likely we're going to see Ice Rod in Swamp or one of our pendant dungeons. Unless it's just sitting in, you know, sitting on Laser Bridge.
Yeah, that's vacation home.
That's vanilla, right? We don't talk about Ice Rod Cave, you know, it lives in TR. Yeah, I feel like up until that hook shot, Dave's strategy was paying off, but now TR might be leading him on a wild goose chase.
Yeah, I would agree. I feel like Dave's choices to just push the Crystal Dungeons really played into their favor for a while, with linear progression just being at their feet time and time again. And even if the Ice Rod is here, it's going to feel like a huge win, but then it's when do you get back to those two kind of terrible checks? Because if you keep going with the idea of dungeons being the answer, they can do all their pendants.
Yeah, that's definitely something I've been keeping an eye on early on here, is that we had lots of clearable pendant dungeons early. And with TR being a red crystal, it could lead us that way if the other dungeons don't have much in them.
Dave almost needs TR to not have the Ice Rod right now, because there's a world where Josh is going to be like, do Swamp, and then push TR hoping that Ice Rod is just sitting there, right? And if it has nothing, then that's time sink that Dave has already done that they kind of get back to pursue some of the other bad one-offs. If Ice Rod is just here and Josh rushes TR with that same thought in mind, they're in some serious trouble.
Making good use of the safety ledge here at the end of the hall. Now, one thing Dave could do here is go through the top doorway and take a fall, and then that would let him dash down to that second chest.
Yeah, trying to use the boost to line up these laser skips. Laser skips are no laughing matter. It is a skill that takes some real time to develop to get the timing down. And there's a couple different strategies that runners can use to get it, but it's not a gimme by any stretch. Oh, gets the dash, but unfortunately bonks it back. Yeah, they got it. No, nice shovel, dude.
Totally where the ice rod is, right?
So there must just be dungeon items left if they're choosing to leave that item on Blazer Bridge. You gotta check that shovel right away, right? You suck all that time into it, you have to.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like validation check. Hard required. How does it go? Always be following fetch quests? This is probably why I don't do well.
Alright, Josh's gonna go ahead and push the... That's unfortunate. That ice shot being out of that shovel would have been really silly. Alright, now, where does Ninja Dave want to go? Okay, this might be cleaning up the route.
Yeah, still has yet to get their flippers.
Well, they're gonna get them right here.
I'm curious if the flippers are going to lead them back to the Zora and Catfish checks. But again, like we said, for Ninja Dave, that Catfish is really orphaned out there.
Yeah, the flipper sending him to ice makes more sense if they're wanting to just not do anything with the Smith chain.
Yeah, I'm going to agree there. But I think you're here. I think you go Smith chain while you're here, given that it's available and you have checks in North Dark World as well.
If you were going to do the Smith chain, then why wouldn't you just do Magic Bat with the Smith chain? Why come over here to have to fly back to come back over here?
Ooh, I would have did Smith chain over Hookless Swamp, though.
They haven't touched Hype Cave yet.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Oh, we might see Hype Cave into, like, Ice Palace here.
Josh decided to forego left side swamp. Is just going to push the back. Being one item from go, I don't disagree. You know. The anti-Hype Cave. Mirror Shield.
Hey, Mirror Shield, let's go. Nobody wanted to see your sprite anyways. I mean, oh wow, it is Ninja Turtles, so that's allowed, but...
It looks like Dave's going to go ahead and do this Smith chain the backwards way. So look at K45 here, do the game, then get the Smith, turn it in, and then we'll be able to just grab the purple chest and flute down and turn it in.
Well, now here is the question, because we got a map. Do you go back in for left side? Or are you hard skipping?
I think you have to. When else do you do it if you don't do it now?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And the way Josh has been routing, they've been very efficient. So being that we have dungeon items, I'm going to guess they're going back in.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's just for one thing, and that feels like it kind of sucks, but...
No, it's for
now
we have
two.
2 guaranteed. Yeah.
If you're not going to do it now, this is your hard last location. Like, you're drawing that line in the sand. If they have, a 4-item Ice Palace, technically, with the Green Pendant, they have 2 items in Mire. And this could just be a thing where they've decided it's in TR and I'm gone. But, yeah, I agree with this. I think you have to go back in here.
And this might be a situation where we see Dave, doing the same thing but skipping left side. just the way they've been routing differently.
Dave only has 2 overworld checks after the Smith Chain left. Graveyard Ledge, which we know is nothing, and then Zora and Catfish, which I guess technically is 3, but you know what I'm saying. If they're ever gonna do it, it's gotta be now. And then they kind of have to hope that Josh rushes TR, hoping the Ice Rod is just there to give them that time back.
Yeah, that's going to be Dave's only saving grace right here. I have to agree with you there.
Yeah, they need Josh to go into TR and dig like they did to give that time back. So Dave has time to route to Catfish, get the hook, and then go through all of Swamp.
Oh?
Yeah, actually, I think our tracker coming in is making the right call here, too. As far as going up to check TR, that also gives, Josh can do Hookshot Cave. So there's even more incentive for Josh to go up the mountain after this.
Yeah, I was a little confused there. I don't think Josh had to do the, I guess they were trying to do the bomb delay, but it might have been quicker just to walk around.
Yeah. Still, they remember to hit the switch, or have the crystal hit switch hit, which is the most important thing.
I mean, it's practice, right? It's practice. Are we going to Catfish because we know that we messed up? Nope. We're going to...
I think maybe yes.
Yeah, I mean... Oh, they didn't do man under the bridge, so they're going to start cleaning up checks here, yeah. I think they're going to work their way up there.
I think they are, too. I think they'll work their way up there. Swamp had absolutely nothing, but they'll work their way up there to do that and Zora at the same time, which will be huge for them.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Chad here that I don't see Josh doing anything other than Hookshot Cave into TR.
Yeah, I think you have to lean into that. I wholeheartedly agree.
Which, again, that just gives Dave a lot of that time back. Unless Ice Rod is in Hookshot Cave.
If Ice Rod's in Hookshot Cave, it's GG. There's also Spike Cave up here, too. I don't think either runner-up's done.
Yeah, no, I don't believe either one has done Spike Cave yet.
Yeah, Dave routing into the hookshot here will go right into Swamp. We'll most likely full clear it as well. And if Ice Rod's not on the mountain, then it's a race. It's who picks the right spot.
Yeah, because if it's not on the mountain, then it's going to be who goes Mire, who goes Ice, or who's faster to get to it. So again, it's going to come down to execution at that point. And who finds it first.
No. Okay. Oh, it's like, Josh, no. Okay, never mind. Josh, you're doing great. I thought they were just going to go into TR. It's like, no, Hookshot came first.
Nothing in the first chest. Little love in the second, and not in Hookshot Cave, so we know it's somewhere amongst the pendants or pedestal.
All right, so Josh will go through and gut all of TR. Dave, I would guess, is going to do all the Swamp Palace, and that'll put our... I mean, we'll be able to tell where our runners are at that point, because the only difference, unless I'm missing something, is Josh has done Graveyard Ledge and Dave hasn't. I don't think I'm missing anything.
Yeah, I think the only difference here being that Josh is coming in with Hookshot, and Dave did not.
So otherwise, it is faster. If you're going to full clear Swamp anyway, it is faster to do left side the first time you're in here. So we'll see if that's what Ninja Dave wants to do. But then I have to assume at that point, what, both runners just rush ice, right? It's the most dens.
Yeah. It's also our green pendant. So I would think that would be the priority one. Unless you're going back to what was available first, and that would have been Mire. Well, we were required to get Aga. Why wouldn't we have a required ped pull as well? This is all dungeons, right? I'm interested to see, does Dave go left side first, or are they going to go to the back first? Back it is, so both runners following the same route. Swing and a miss, swing and a miss.
Yeah, we have the benefit of knowing the right answer is not in Swamp Palace, but I still agree with both runners choosing to do the back in this instance first. Kind of echoing what's going on in chat a little bit here. I kind of think there's a method to that madness. There's a discussion going on that, you know, ice is clearly the most dense. So do you as a runner think, I know, or I have a pretty good suspicion that my opponent's going to do the dense? Do you do Mire as a counterplay? I think there's something to be said for that.
Yeah, I mean, if you know your opponent, sometimes making plays like that can be worth the risk. You know, in the mentor tournament's a little harder, but I know the mentors are at least a little bit familiar with each other and know how they think. So it may be worthwhile, especially like I said earlier, Mire was the first one that we had access between the two of them. It might be worth the risk to go Mire over ice. But that's one of those decisions that rando be rando. It's either the right one or it's really the wrong one. No, I think ice is the safe bet here, and for Dave, it's just a mirror away.
I thought Ninja Dave was gonna dodge the left side, and I was like, wow, braver than me.
Yeah, I think, like you said earlier, you kind of have to check it at this point. We're on an ice rod hunt.
I feel like you could, what we were talking about with Eastern earlier. I chose not to do this, and I'm gonna live and die by that choice now. You could, listen. If it's left side swamp, I had my chance to do it when I went in. Chose not to, and I'm gonna live and die by that choice. It's a gamble, in my opinion, and it's a brutal gamble. But
yeah, I think though with TR cleared, and the only thing left are pendants, you're clearing those 2 checks.
we do see Josh here rocking the mirror shield, able to get through this particular laser bridge much quicker. Still taking a couple bops.
Now, Josh, we definitely got to rush the shovel. I know something we don't see very often, but had the ice rod been on the shovel, they could have saved the mirror there and re-entered TR from the back.
Yeah, echoing more of the chat's discussion. I think choosing not to do left side swamp and just rushing the back makes a lot of sense. If in the first couple checks I had found a dungeon item, then maybe I feel like there's a little more effort or a little more emphasis you can put on that. But having neither with all the dungeon items being in the back, it just makes sense. So no shovel juice. Now we see where Josh wants to go. Yeah, and choosing the dense ice blade makes a lot of sense.
It's definitely the safer bet. We can do it the easy way. We can get in, get out. And it's what? 4 checks versus 2?
Yeah. All right, so our runners are basically equal. I think, with the exception of Graveyard Ledge, Josh is in the ice. Yeah, it looks like, Ninja Dave's going to go the exact same spot. So Josh has got, what, minute and a half lead-ish?
Yeah, it seems to be.
At this point, if they're both going to go into ice, I want the ice rod to be right here. You know what I'm saying? Put it in iced tea or something silly, and let's have a race.
Yeah, put it on Colts there. Let's see it come down to execution.
Great icebreaker there by Josh. First try. Nice vanilla big key.
Yeah, very nice. No pause buffering anything on that icebreaker. You can once again, you can tell when they've been practicing.
They were trying for that bomb strat. Gets 4 of the 6, so not a bad start. Hookshot does kill the Ping Gators in one little poke, though, so probably a little faster just to use the hookshot there. But yeah, nice job trying to execute that bomb strat.
Yeah, with tempered or above, can also do spin strats. We got a fairy in the bottle. Was that first item?
Yes. I can give you a solid maybe.
Chat says second. Well,
Ninja Dave having a little bit more trouble setting up this icebreaker. Continues to leave the room, which I'm not understanding.
ooh, the bull.
Let me tell you the first thing I'm doing if it's not Nice Palace. Green Pendant turn in, and I am rushing the pedestal. Because if it's the pedestal, then I'm just going right to Mire. If it's not, then you have some real decisions to make as far as, okay, do I want to do the tablets? Do I want to do Mire?
Well, I think on Dave's side, we're going to see he's going to go Mire. And Josh's side, we're going to see tablets. I'd be willing to bet that. Just the way they've been routing.
Yeah. Ninja Dave has definitely put up...
Yeah, this is gonna be classic efficiency routing versus always be clearing dungeons, and it's really been back and forth this whole race.
Yeah, I think having beaten Green Pendant Ice Palace, you have to turn the Green Pendant in first, right? You put the time into it, you chase it. But I am a hard push for the pedestal after that, because again, if it's just a pedestal, then it's a no-brainer. Go get your big key, go to Mire, finish it. Yeah, great fight by Josh there.
Yep, doing pretty well at keeping them grouped up there.
Oh yeah, chat popping in the hilarious Spike Cave place still being viable.
Yeah, it is still out there. It would be funny to see both players go for the ped pole, and then it be, you know, on one of the tablets or Spike Cave.
Well, I mean, if you're doing Ether Tablet, you're just doing Spike Cave right then, so... I would love to just see the eye rolls for Sawyer and Wombat too, just going, oh god. Why?
Not on the Green Pendant turn-in. All right, so you say Mire. I think we're going to get a scout.
I'm checking the pedestal here.
Yeah, we're getting a scout here by Josh.
To echo something that was in chat, like, I understand the idea of the concept of I'm just going to go to Mire and get my items, and if it's not there, then I'll beat it, and then I'll do the pedestal without having to check. But if you check the pedestal and it's on the pedestal, you don't have to, like, just get your big key and go beat it. You know, you don't have to worry about routing the entire dungeon, especially if it's, you know, a God Mire. So if it's not, and, you know, the big key's buried, and, you know, you have to clear the dungeon anyway, then yeah, this is a time loss. But I'll play the odds on that one. Again, I feel like both strategies have a lot of merit, but boo.
Okay.
See, now you have the choice. What you can dodge Mire completely and chase the book on the tablets, or do you go to Mire for the items? Now it's a real question again.
I kind of like chasing the tablets first here. The only thing with Mire is if it's a quick clear, then it's worthwhile because it's quick and easy to get there. But if not, some of those checks, like cutscene check, can take a little while to do. And if your opponent's not doing them, you know, that can cost you.
Right, and that's the other side of that coin too. If, you know, you walk in there and check one is the ice rod, then the time you spent to go check the pedestal is a huge waste. You know, it's a big time sink. It's a coin flip either way, I think. I can make the argument for both. I would have checked the pedestal in that scenario, though. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying that's what I would have done.
Well, Bombo's tablet doesn't have the answer either. Chat saying Mire smells bad. Well...
Well, we were talking before that was a play you could have made if you wanted to really gamble for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Josh did Graveyard Ledge. It's Ninja Dave, I think, that hasn't done it.
Yeah, Ninja Dave has not checked Graveyard Ledge. I believe Ninja Dave had also gotten King's Tomb just in the Light World.
All right, book is trash.
Spike Cave? Yeah, Josh has already done Hookshot Cave, so it's either Spike Cave or it's Mire. I guess could the game be saying that the book is your direction, so you got to go do Mire? I don't know. Well, with this number of hearts and two bottles for 2 potions, it looks like Mire's the answer.
All right, Ninja Dave decided that the book is nothing but bait. It's going to rush into Mire. It's going to turn out to be the right call. And the race is on.
Yeah, both of them entering about the same time here. Gonna be seconds apart.
Yeah, this was available a long time ago.
Yeah, we saw one of our runners checked the Mire area very early and saw that they had access.
No, it was Flute and Eastern, and then after meeting Aga, it was Mid Pod, and
Yeah.
Ether was on something. Ether was in Sanctuary.
Yes, Ether was sick. Man, they are making us work for this.
Oh, it's even a Godmire.
Yep, even a Godmire.
Of course.
It's always a Godmire when you don't want it to be one.
High shot on Vitrius then.
It's gotta be. Now, cutscene chest, of course.
A little bit of some routing divergence here. There it is.
There it is. All right, that is go mode for Ninja Dave at 130.55. Sorry, 140, 142.53, 50 something. Timer's messed up.
So Josh decided to go to north of Torches first to get that heart container. Gonna be just a little bit behind, but I mean the race is absolutely on at this point.
Yeah, with how close this is, it's really gonna come down to execution here. One slip up, one fall, one error in routing could change the pace of the race here. And this is usually when the nerves are on, is when we hit go mode.
Do you feel like I mean, I understand that the standard rando runner state of being is I'm behind, my opponent has made all the right decisions, it is a matter of seconds before they finish, da-da-da-da-da. But do you feel like any runner feels terribly behind right now? Like, Pendant Mire for your Ice Rod feels like a pretty rough location for anybody. So, I mean, are you going through your thought process of, oh, I could have done this, I could have done that, I chose wrong here? Or do you feel like, okay, that sucks for everybody, let's go?
I feel like this is a this sucks for everybody kind of situation, given where it was. Had it been elsewhere, then it would have been one of those, you know, okay, I screwed up, I'm behind, but in a Pendant Mire, One nice thing is both runners have full cleared this except for the boss, so kinda can rush right through.
Yeah, this was an interesting call. We talked about it before. Like, you know, are you the kind of person that's like, okay, I bet my opponent's going to go for ice for the density. I'm going to go to Meyer as the anti-play. You'd be finished by now. Or you'd be climbing GT at the very least.
Yeah. Honestly, with it being accessible that early in the seed, I may have even dipped it, actually cleared it early on. Just, you know, reggae routing and all that good fun. It's clearable, I'll clear it. Welcome in, Raiders. Guys, if you're just joining us, both runners have just hit go mode moments ago, found their ice rod on the ice rod hunt, and are now going to clear their TR. If you haven't already, make sure you give us a follow here. Talon and myself, Scatsman, in the booth. Fernap on the tracking. Mr. Angry Pants is our restreamer for this race. And of course our runners and their mentors, Ninja Dave with Sawyer, Josh with a Rabid Wombat, and you know, it's been an interesting race to say the least. Looks like Dave, I was gonna say, are we getting the safety ledge here? You can. This is where you can tell that the nerves are in full effect right now.
Yeah, I feel like you have to trust that you have plenty of hearts, red mail, tempered sword, half magic. You have to go at this point. Yeah, I see there too. Ninja Dave, I know it bought a blue potion earlier. I think maybe Josh has a green, but that's it.
I think they both picked up the fairy in the bottle as their second bottle.
Oh yeah, there was a fairy in the bottle of ice. That's gonna be good for the runners for a little confidence. But yeah,
whether they both have it, I couldn't say at this point.
They both. I'm pretty sure they both have it. But yeah, there's no time for potions at this point. You've got to go. That's a terrible ice rod location, and you have to assume at best your opponent last located it as well. And Fernap, I'm so sorry. I literally just said everything you already put in chat and didn't realize you'd already said it. So my bad.
We're the comms. We're supposed to take credit.
Right, definitely feels like Josh had a little bit better of a TR or a Trinex fight there. I was able to make up a few seconds, but we're really going to be counting the clock for GT entry. But it's down to the routing now.
Yeah, well, if you guys want to play along, it's that time of the seed where you put your guess in chat from 1 to 22 if you don't know what to do. We're looking for the Ganon Tower, big key, where it will be this seed. What's your guess, Talon? I usually choose 14, but I hope for 1.
4.
Going with 4? Do you have a route that you prefer here with GT?
I kind of mix it up a little bit. I like a Dark Magician. I'm a big fan of like a hopeful left. Every so often we'll go crazy and just go full right just to be silly. You know, no one ever does this, so I'm going to do this one time and it'll pay off. But I'm pretty fluid with just what I'm feeling at the time.
I like to stoke the coals and say that I'm bringing Pink Magician back, but I always chicken out every time, so... Well, we are getting forced left as Dave finds out here, and it looks like Josh is going to be following right behind. Well, absolutely nothing on Torch, so that's number 3. We have the all-important map on number 4. 20 bucks on number 5. The single rupee and a small key here in Stalfo's room. Yes, torch does count. And we have the big key on number 8, I believe. Number 8.
It's just the worst room.
So, Price is Right rules, right? I think Drew wins, right?
Oh, yeah, Price is Right rules for sure.
Oh, no, he went over. So, Erica and Sean secretly a sliver. Enjoy your lifetime supply of rando seeds on alttpr.com. You're gonna have to share though, so you'll have to race each seed now. Good luck. Well, it's time to climb. This is where we really see execution shine.
Yeah, and Josh is having the devil's time in that spike room. The route they took to hit the switch, they get stuck by blocks, the anti-fairy, and the mimics. So really bled some time in that room.
Never punished with the fairy though.
Yeah, it is Dave's race to lose as of right now. They've got a couple room lead. Gonna need them to struggle on some execution to give Josh a chance to catch back up.
But if anywhere is gonna test it, this is it. This is
for sure. Yeah, a Moldorm fall, and this gets right back together.
Yeah, and this is usually where we see a lot of newer players meet those hiccups, especially when you're looking and your opponent has not finished yet. You're like, oh gosh.
Right, pretty clean gauntlet for Dave there. That was nice and smooth.
And just trying to use the bow on Landmo, but not quite lining up. They're being a little slippery for those silver shots here.
Yeah, I think they went to set it up, and then the shooter kind of knocked them out of position, and then they had to try to make up for it, and it really didn't work. We'll see if Josh's Landmo is any tighter. Could really make up some serious time here.
You took the words out of my mouth.
Oh, a short hop to the left for that last Lambo, really eating up some time.
Slightly faster, but not quite enough to make up time here, as Dave is already on torches 1.
So the Samaria kill for those Wizards is just so satisfying in this room.
Yeah, it's Wizards 2 that I always have hiccups on.
Mirror Shield coming in the clutch there. Dave doing a great job remembering they need the key in this room. They're gonna have to have that extra one, but remembers to grab it off the mini Helma.
Oh, hate when that happens. Bomb getting stuck against the wall.
Not sure what Dave's looking for there, but gets the refill items. Able to go into this fight fully kitted out.
I mean, we have a cape outstanding. We have a gold sword outstanding. If you're feeling behind, this could be looking for advantages.
Both runners having problems with the bomb in this room, unfortunately. I'm not sure what happened with Dave there. Moldor was blowing up, and then they fell, so I must have missed what happened.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. And Troll Dorm is here. And this is what we were talking about. One fall on Moldorm 2 can change the pacing, but both runners are going head to head here with Troll Dorm, who is prepared for them.
Right, and this is one of those things too. You know, you like you had said before, you haven't seen your opponent finish. You take that fall, and you're like, well, that's what lost it for me right there. It's over. You know, the mental anguish starts. You know, the mental damage far worse than the actual physical.
All right, well, the run is validated with 10 arrows. So Josh is the default winner. No, just kidding. But both runners are very close now, only about a room between them. This is where practicing agonometry comes in handy.
Neither runner getting any on the first, which is really unfortunate because there's a pretty good setup for it. There.
Looks like some of Josh's shadows are a little out of sync there. Can sometimes make it hard to line them up. And there we go. Dave dropping in here moments before Josh.
Yeah, so Dave picked up on his clock at 44:14. Josh is going to get picked up about 18 seconds later, so it's about an 18-second lead.
Yeah, this is anybody's fight.
Yeah, the 1-1 could make the difference here.
Almost didn't get that second spin there. But yes, definitely setting up for the 1-1.
Yeah, well, got poked by the trident, so got knocked out of it, unfortunately. On to phase 2.
Yeah, didn't get a good spot to line up here, but plenty of safeties and definitely good time to take advantage of those to help speed yourself up here.
Yeah, Josh also not getting the 1-1, so both be on phase 2. Oh, well, has the fairy.
Using that fairy. Yep. Using their health as a resource here. Yeah, I was going to say, I think they need one more hit.
Oh, Josh thought they were done. And it's get forced into another round of phase 2.
Both runners in phase 3. Dave only a little bit ahead.
Yeah, a lot of warps here.
I think you got to skip the torch and go for the early hit on this one.
Oh, great position.
Potentially lining up for the finish here. Oh, not enough time.
Oh, gets robbed, but still gets the 4th shot in. Just has to conquer the most dangerous bridge in Hyrule. Get those GGs in, chat. Oh, great setup here, too. Well, Josh got robbed of their 4th hit as well.
Well, GG's in chat for Ninja Dave here. And shortly after, for Josh here, another close race here for the Mentor Tournament this year. All right, folks. Well, get your GGs in chat for Josh as well. Wow. We're going to try and get them in here for post-race interview, so bear with us here. Wow. What do you think before they get in here? That was, whew, we got the whole seat, but just needed the edge of it.
Yeah, looking at the final dots in the race time room, it was the difference of 24 seconds, which is just bonkers. Considering how much divergence and routing we had throughout this entire thing, that is pretty nuts.
Wow. Yeah, and this year, there's been so many close finishes that, like, Like you said, execution really kind of is going to be the telling factor here later in this tournament.
Yeah, we were kind of talking about that at the very beginning of this scene, you know, it being Kaz boots and having that sword and the escape and the dash, you know, following those dash lines and knowing, you know, the good routing spots and how to effectively, you know, use your sword spins to get through the escape faster. It's those tiny execution things that just pile up. At 24 seconds, we can think of numerous places where you can shave 4 seconds here, 5 seconds there, a choice there. Ninja Dave decides not to chase the book to the mountain and just goes right into Mire and gets into Mire first, and there's your difference. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of the things that was contested when we were talking about it in chat earlier. Of do you check the pedestal or don't you? There's your 24 seconds.
Right, exactly. Yeah, all those different decisions just really add up. Even minor ones that cost you a second here or a second there. You know, bonking when you're on the way to Zora could have been a huge upset, but
Yeah, that's a great shout. You know, not having to go back there and do that check.
well, and then I mean, the one thing we can talk about when they get in here, but you know, what if they had done that check and that made Catfish, you know, less enticing? I'd like to see what, you know, what the thoughts on that would be. All right, it looks like they'll be joining us here.
Don't be afraid. Come down. Come to the booth.
Yes, join us.
Please join us. We're friendly-ish.
Hey, speak for yourself. I was trained by the Mr. Angry Pants himself, so.
You had training.
You guys got training?
There we go. Here's our runners for the
GGs,
race.
both of you.
GG's.
GG's, guys. Good race, Josh.
Oh,
America for the win.
Another.
Let's go.
another close match. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We'll just let you guys get the first word in. We'll start with the winner, Ninja Dave. Give us just a little bit of your feelings on this one.
It was crap. I after I died in Zora, or locked myself out at Zora, I was certain that's where my progression was. It was on the other side of it, but yeah, I was joking about the all dungeons, 100% ped Agaseed, but you know, such is life. We didn't need the pad, thankfully.
Yeah, Josh, yeah, give us your first kind of thoughts of this post scene.
I'm gonna agree. It was crap. I was kind of praying for a not cursed seed, but apparently Cast Boots is all cursed seeds. And we kind of early on, like when we got Flute, we looked at Mire and we're like, we can get into Mire already. Do we dip Mire? And we didn't. We looked at it for a bit and we just kind of pushed it off, and yep.
Yep, there was crystals you could clear, you know.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and that's really what it came down to. I mean, if the first 20 minutes of this scene, if you decide to go back and watch it, just skip the first 20 minutes. You guys did the same thing, basically lockstep. Super boring. Just skip it.
Sorry.
Okay.
for a rewatch.
Yeah.
Once you guys get through the choice to go into pod and you get that mitts, and then it gets real crazy at that point because you both go into Thieves Town. Josh ends up taking the death to blind, goes right back in and knocks it out. And Dave, you went in there, was able to get it the first try, and then you two split. And I don't think you ever got back together until you were in Ice Palace.
Oh wow.
Okay. So we both cleared Ice Palace. Okay, I was wondering about that.
Yeah, so Ninja Dave decided, I'm just going to go right back to pod and finish it off.
Yep.
Gonna take my Flute Mirror mitts to Desert. That led to the Fire Rod, which led to Skull, which is another crystal, which led to the mountain, which led... And you just pushed it. So when you were up on the mountain, you were able to go into TR and gut through it the first time through. Josh, on the other hand, after Thieves Town, you decide to do Overworld. You route south, all the way to Hype Cave. Then you go to the mountain and do some stuff, and then you decide to go Desert Pod and do crystals at that point. And by the time you get up to TR, or you had already looked at TR, you couldn't get in right away. So by the time you go back down to finish off Skullwoods, you go over and get your hook shot. Well, Swamp's the next possible idea. So you guys were completely divergent. Eventually, at one point, you flipped. Dave went into Swamp when they were able to finally, after getting the hook shot super late. That's when Josh went to the mountain. Hey, if the ice rod's here, I'm done.
Yep.
So I think going into Ice Palace, it was a minute. It was a difference of like, not maybe a minute and a half, maybe a minute and a half going into Ice Palace together.
Yeah, and when we're in ice, the options are, go do the tablet into Mire into Pen, or go up the mountain. If it's in Hookshot, it's in Hookshot, and you don't have to climb back up. So that we were talking about that, and I was like, well, we'll hedge on the Pen, because if it's in up down on the mountain, we'd be fine, and if it's not, then we have to climb the mountain another time. So that's why we ultimately didn't go back in the Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, and if you're looking for an obvious spot for where's the 24-second difference, it's exactly what you said. Post ice, you both turned in the green pendant. Josh did what I would have done, is go check the pedestal. If you know what's on the pedestal, it's rush the Mire boss and you're done.
Yeah.
It's not on pedestal, so they do Ether Tablet, Spike Cave, Bombos, then Mire. Where Dave, you just did Bombos right afterwards, and then went right into Mire.
Yeah,
That's your time difference right there. Because after that, you guys just follow the leader.
Yeah, I didn't even think about checking the pen. I'm like, if it's there, then I need to beat Mire anyway. Then I might as well just go beat Mire and then check it blind if I don't have it. So.
Right, which had it been on pedestal because it was a God Mire, it would have been unreal how fast this thing becomes.
Yeah.
Just chase the boss. Yeah. Was there? Yeah. So you both. I think Josh, you went up and checked North of Torches. Dave, you routed right to the lobby chest in Mire, which had the ice rod, which gave you a little bit more of a time cushion. But yeah, the whole chat was just like, "Oh, here we go."
Yeah, we were in Mire, but so it's like, just do the right side. Don't do Firelock. Just check everything before cutscene chest before we do that. And that was the call, because we just went to lobby and got it and left.
Yeah, I think. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, like, I always like to dip right up into the Firelock chest just while I'm there, and then I think it probably wastes a bit of time. Actually, does waste time, but
yeah, I think this is an instance where it's just it didn't work this time. It's kind of like GT routing, right? There's no best GT routing. There's just the one that worked this time. So
yeah.
But yeah, so you guys you go into GT, you take the exact same route. You both go right to the big key. Dave was able to get into the gauntlet a little cleaner. Josh kind of got hung up in that first spike room a little bit. But then Josh's Landmo was a little bit better, so they brought up some seconds. Like, it was, you were like hovering on this time. And then there was the Moldorm Falls, and I'll start.
Oh my God!
I'll start with Ninja Dave on that one. The first Moldorm form. Dude.
I beat Moldorm, got across the mountain, and got across the gap, and then turned around and walked off the edge. Like, what was that?
Oh, no.
Dude, yeah. And then I came back up, and it felt like I fell like one or two more times coming back up. I was like, what the? Like, if I lost the seeds, I was like, that would have lost me the game. If I lost right there, that's where I would have pinned it.
Yeah, that was. So you get back up and then fall again. As you fall again, Josh then falls. So I'm like, oh my God.
Oh yeah, Moldorm pinched me hard in that top left corner, and I couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah, you had nowhere to go.
I have a hard time beating Moldorm if I come in on the left side. Once I fall coming on the right, I seem to beat him every time. So that's my excuse.
So yeah, it was pretty high drama, and then going into Aga, the patterns weren't super great.
Oh no!
But both of you kind of had troubles getting those rolling. So I think we figured out it was about an 18-second difference getting picked up by the bird out of Aga 2.
Okay.
And then you both went in and had pretty successful Ganon fights. Dave took the death of phase 2, had a fairy, but then was just like, well, there's more clock. It was nuts. It was a great finish.
Yeah. I took the death on purpose. Like, I knew I didn't have Cape or Burner to help get through phase 2, so I think I'll just hit him, and then if I die, I had the fairy to keep me up, and then the blue goo if I need it.
Oh yeah, I never even got a blue goo. I got the green that we got from the waterfall fairy, and then the fairy in the last bottle.
I tried the death warp out of the backer pod. Forgot that we had the fairy. It got revived. So I had an empty bottle. So I just ended up at one point fluting over to the potion shop and filling it up.
Yeah, I didn't have that second bottle yet, so I actually did death warp through pod to get back so we could check like the back left. Yeah.
Yeah, no, from like our standpoint, it was really hard to tell who had a lead or who had an advantage because you guys went like opposite directions. Dave, you kind of stuck to dungeons, and Josh, you were efficiently clearing all the areas, and it was just until we saw the hook shot, we were kind of like, oh, okay, now
Yeah.
now we're starting to see advantage, but
Yeah, and we almost didn't check that. Zora's like, "What do you want to do?" I'm like, I need to clear Zora. I need to see what that catfish has or what Zora has because I died back. I got locked up there, and that's where my progression is. I know it. Um, it was on catfish. Thankfully, we did that first. But yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even go up to Zora. Like we kind of just ducked away from it 'cause it just didn't have the money.
yeah, well,
And
yeah. So the bush crabs had 20s.
yep.
I farmed some 20s out of there, and then Water walked up there, and me and Sawyer were talking. I got distracted, and when I went to dash over, I bonked into the water. Um,
Yeah, I accidentally killed our first bush crab. I
oh
threw right and he just kind of was standing on top of me at the time and I was like, "Oh, well, we'll never know what that is anymore." And just,
yeah, yep, he had the money.
yeah.
all right. Well, telling any final thoughts from you from our standpoint?
GG's, Josh. I'm glad it was a good match. I'm glad it was entertaining and not a blowout one way or the other. I was nervous the entire time after that soft lock in Zora.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it was like we were like I was in GT of like getting the final arrows in and Wombat just like you just got sniped. And I'm like,
No.
"Ah."
Yeah, Sawyer popped over. He's like, he's in phase 4. I went, wow. Yeah,
Yeah, no, GG's. That was a fantastic race.
yeah, great game, man. Thank you.
Yeah, I do want to say I know Talon was talking about it a bit, but we saw really good execution out of both of you, and that really starts to show later in the tournament here. So, GGs to both of you, and just it really went to show that even though the routing was very different, your execution got you guys both to the same point, very close together. So.
Yeah, that's great. I love that. I love when the races are competitive. So.
All right. Well, again, don't forget to give our restreamer, our tracker, our runners, their mentors, and, myself and Talon a follow. And join us on the next one. We have more games tomorrow. Looks like we have a 2 o'clock, a 7 o'clock. We got Hardy versus Mr. Boogeyman, and we've got Tifa versus Levy. So definitely check that out and enjoy the rest of your holiday weekend. And thank you so much to everybody for doing the volunteers and being here and making this all happen. And we really appreciate it.
Yep. GG's, Josh. Thank you, Restream and commentators. Appreciate you guys putting us on and taking a couple hours of your day and hanging out with us. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Angry Fans, for getting the restream running on us, and thanks for chilling and talking about how that race went.
All right, I think that's good. Thank you, everyone, once again for hanging out. We'll definitely see you. Join us tomorrow for a couple more races, and have a great weekend. Thanks.